Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unmask the Title. Today, we're talking about a topic that a lot of couples debate on. Okay, so it is, should the marriage be 50-50 or no? Okay?
And a little point, the guys didn't know what the topic was about.
Yes. So basically, let's talk in general. What I mean by 50-50, it's not only the financial part. The 50-50 is the, let's say, housework, emotions, financial part, and other stuff. For my own opinion, marriage, yes, should be 50-50 because a lot of people that study the science part of marriage, they said that if the marriage was not 50-50, like 50-50, then one part of the couple, he will suffer from a lot of pressure, because if this person gives a lot, then it will be a lot for him to withstand the years of marriage. So that's why some marriages ends up with divorce. So let's skip the financial part. Just skipping because
We'll definitely discuss the financial part.
yes,
I
of
think.
course,
Of course. That's what we think about.
of course. But let me start with the, let's say, the emotional part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I think that yes, it should be 50-50 because I'm talking as a couple, okay? If I keep on giving my partner that emotional part for a very long time, us women, we can do it for a very long time, but at a point, we need some emotional support, some emotional part that, let's say, for an hour of the day, or let's say for a period time of the month, and let's say for a few days of the year. So we need that emotional part. I know that men tend to not know how to express that feeling, the emotions. They try just to be there for me, but still at the same time, they don't know how to express it.
She's talking about me.
No, I'm talking about general.
I think
Yeah.
it's general because
Yes.
even for me, it's like that.
Yes, exactly. Most of the men, because, I have friends that are newlywed, and we, of course, like we talk about
Yeah.
men when we sit together. So they tell me, my husband like this, my husband like that, he does this and he does that. So that's the point that I'm talking about.
It's something that's very
all
common,
men.
common in between them, yeah?
Yes.
I mean, when we say all men, obviously nothing is
all.
ever 100%, as in majority of the population.
But there is common ground that
Yeah.
we tend to do the same or act the same or be the same.
Yeah.
it's
I-
like nagging with women.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of naggers. We accept that we're nagging, not in the sense that we want to annoy you. We want to constantly tell you like, oh my God, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, whatever. But in the sense that that's just how, for some reason, we are. That's how we communicate. And the same with men. Sometimes you cannot show your affection in the sense for the woman in that relationship to feel like what I am giving, I'm reciprocating. I think that's the point that she's trying to make. That
Yes,
it should
exactly.
be equally reciprocated.
So I'll jump in with my opinion and
Yeah.
then Omar can give his opinion.
And then I'll give mine because I don't
Yeah.
100% agree with Fatima either.
Okay. So I think I'm completely opposite of what you think. I don't think it should be a 50-50, nor in the emotional side or the financial side. Now, I'll explain to make more sense, because currently, yes, I am in a relationship and financial side of things are pretty much a 50-50 thing. But again, there are reasonings behind why that's a 50-50 and why we've met on that terms and condition. But I think on the emotional side, let's stick to that. I think some days Some days maybe I'm not at 50%, and maybe Yalda is more than 50%. Maybe she feels more than 50%. Maybe I've had a really, really bad day.
Yeah, at that time she can give you. But what I mean for the whole year.
So let's say, take a week's example, right? We start on a Monday, we start our day off. I have a really bad day. I don't know. I have a stomach ache. So it's ruined my day from the very beginning. Get go. I've woken up with a really bad stomach ache. It's game over already. But throughout that Monday, Yalda is completely fine. So she's like, you know what? Today I have 80%, you have 20. It's fine. The next day, she wakes up with a migraine. She's at 10% and I'm at 90. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll carry us through the day. And so on and so forth. I think that's what takes us through the week. I think trying to reach a 50-50 on a daily basis, that's where the problem arises.
But let's say the average in the end will be 50-50.
It will balance out.
When you take care of her at one day and the next day she takes care of her.
Takes care of me.
Yeah, okay. She takes care of you. Then eventually in the end, it will be a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
But if she takes care of you for, let's say, the whole month,
Yeah.
and you don't bother to take care of her, and then the next month you're just, I don't want, okay, she will take care of you, and then the next month, and then the next month, it will be like, let's say 80% to 20%.
Yeah, if it piles up, I think it's not fair.
I think we're in the same page.
We're on the same page, but I think differently.
Yeah.
It still balances out on if we were put it on a scale. Eventually down the line, it does add up to a 50-50 where, yeah, she doesn't feel like she was lacking and I don't feel like I was lacking. But yeah, on the financial side, I'll leave it until everyone else gives their opinions.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't really agree with you, honestly.
Me or her?
He was looking
her.
at me.
Yes, her. Because I feel like us men are a bit different than girls or women in general, okay? They have, in my opinion, more responsibilities, all right? And this makes us lacking probably the emotional part, because men tend to think of the whole family, okay? How to take care of the whole family. Probably the financial part, or maybe the future.
Well, I think the women are on the day-to-day.
Exactly,
Yeah.
day to day. So maybe us men, we cannot provide, as you said, the 50-50 on a daily basis, but we can provide a stability in life, okay? This is what the majority of men does.
Let me comment on something.
Yeah.
A few weeks before, I've heard something that really hit me hard. They said, don't overthink about building the future, because maybe one day before this future comes, you might lose everything that you have.
Yeah.
You might lose your woman and kids, God forbid, maybe some accident, okay? You might lose your woman and kids, and you will be there just sitting. You didn't live with them. You didn't enjoy life with them. You didn't give them you, okay? By the time you were thinking about, okay, I want to build for the future. I want to make money. I want to make work. This is my point.
It's not always about money and work, but it's about life in general. I mean, for me, from my experience, I tried my hard to give the emotional side. I'm trying hard. Maybe I'm not yet there, but at least I'm trying. Okay.
So I think
This is
I'll jump here before I forget it. The fact that you're trying is already you doing something to meet that
Exactly.
50-50.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm not saying that you're already necessarily at 50-50. I don't think anyone other than you and Fatima can ever say that.
Yes.
But no one. Even sometimes you cannot say whether you're 50-50 because it's her point of view, whether you're really meeting her or not.
Yes.
That's why I think communication between the two couples
Exactly.
is so necessary.
Communication is more
Communication,
important than
Anything else.
anything else. Whether
yeah.
whether you're providing 50-50 financially, 50-50 emotionally, and so
Yeah.
on. But communication is the
key.
If you are in good relationship with your wife, you're communicating well, I think that's more than enough to be able to have a stable life and a happy life, to be very honest. I don't think it's a matter of 50-50. I think it's a matter of both of us coming into the same page,
Yeah. So
which
that's
is communication.
That's, I think, for me, first of all, 50-50 is how we've all kind of talked about it. That's how it's always been talked about. Is who's doing more or who's doing less? I mean, you said something that you feel like men have more responsibility. Honestly, I disagree with that.
too.
Because-
did you say men or women have more responsibility?
said
No,
men.
he said man.
I said man.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I don't think, and I'm pretty sure all women will agree with me on this, and some
Definitely.
men. Neither one has more responsibility than the other
Mm-hmm.
in a normal situation. Okay, men traditionally, at least in the Middle East area, have more of a financial responsibility. I accept that. But the women have the responsibility of taking care of the house. And that comes with so many aspects. So I believe, to be fair, we can say they both have equal amount of responsibility.
No, but
Not number of tasks,
Yes.
but equal amount in terms of value.
Yeah.
Let's say you make millions. You bring the millions to Fatima. If Fatima does not think clearly of how to maintain your house,
She'll lose
that that million is gone.
Yeah.
So it's equally as important how she's taking care of the house, how she's taking care of things, and how much you're putting effort to make that money.
Of course, what I said maybe.
Yeah.
In some situations, men have maybe because they have a bit more power, so they have a bit more responsibilities. I'm just
You're like pressing buttons.
yes, I want to press the button.
Okay,
It's just
but
in
it-
Arabic
it's-
world that
But it's funny
men
because
think.
she's not she's
I'm-
supposedly not a feminist.
I'm not
but,
a feminist at all.
but
Yeah.
it's coming through a little
no,
bit
no.
over
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Wearing
Yeah,
pink here.
I see that. I see
No,
that.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm not a
Look, I
feminist.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not against you. But this
I'm not
is my
against you
opinion.
either. I'm
Yeah.
not against the men. I appreciate men who take care of their families. God help them, whatever.
But I want him to finish his sentence of men have more power.
I don't want him to.
I want him to finish
Yeah,
it.
we don't want him to.
All right.
Because I think it's just an unfair way of how things have been represented to us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you for that statement. I blame the culture that has created that statement for you to say that.
True.
You get me?
But
I
I think
don't
he needs to complete the sentence so
Maybe
that
you
it
can
sounds,
justify
it
what you
sounds-
mean
it
by
sounds
men.
You're giving
justifiable.
him time to think about the completion of the sentence so he can
Look,
just make it better.
The whole idea is I totally agree with you. I think you're definitely right when you say we have almost equal responsibilities. I'm saying almost equal responsibilities. All right. Women nowadays are working probably harder than men, and I agree with that. Okay, they take care of their work, they take care of the house, they take care of the kids, they take care of their husbands. I totally
And
agree
their
with
families and the husband's family.
that. Yes. But there are some situations where I think, in my opinion, only men are capable and able to do it.
See, this is where I say I'm not a feminist, because I 100% agree with you.
You see?
That
Here you go. That's what I meant.
100%
That's what I meant.
agree with
So,
this fact.
If we are,
You know, let me
in
tell
some
you.
situations, let me finish.
Let me tell you something.
No, let me tell you something. Right? If we are in some situations are capable and able of
Yeah.
doing things women maybe are limited. I wouldn't say not capable of doing it, but limited to certain things.
Yeah.
So that means we have a little bit more power. Okay.
Okay, I would rephrase that.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
I agree with the concept you're saying. I would just reword it in
Okay.
the sense that it's not that you have more power.
Mm-hmm.
You have a different ability.
Maybe physical capability.
Physical, mental, whatever. I completely agree that
But don't you
men and women
but
are
don't
not
you
the
see
same.
if we have another ability, that means we're more powerful.
No, you don't have another. You have a different.
We have a different one, I think. Yeah.
You have a
okay.
different ability. As we said, and you agreed already, you're not as capable of showing emotion as women are. Therefore, when you have a child, inshallah, in the future, you're not going to be able to give that child the same emotional support that your wife will be
That's
able to.
definitely true.
Therefore, it's not that she's more powerful than you.
Yeah.
She's differently able than you.
Yeah.
That's why I say men are not more powerful or women are not more powerful. It's the fact that we're each powerful in our own way. That's why I say I'm not a feminist, because I don't believe that, oh, we're all the same. Oh, the woman can
Or
do the
women are
same
more
exact.
superior.
Yeah, or that women can do everything that a man does, or vice versa. I believe that we were created differently and we each have different advantages and disadvantages that we should accept and love. I love that I'm a woman and I have certain things that are different to my partner who's a man. Okay? And that being taken into consideration is when I come and say, okay, yes, I believe we should be 50-50 in our relationship, but does not mean we come and keep a tally of, okay, how much did I
You did
spend
this,
today?
yeah.
How much, okay, what task did you do today? Will you do it I should do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, initially at the beginning of our next phase of life, we were discussing, okay, when we move in, we should divide the tasks and chores. You do dishwashing, I do laundry, you do this,
Yeah.
I do that, so it's equal.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't believe in this.
it will not work.
Yes,
You
it
know
will
why?
not work.
It
Yeah.
will not work because as a man, he will have a different timeline in his head that he
Yeah.
can do certain things. He has a different threshold of power on, like energy, not power, energy of that day.
Totally. Yeah.
For me, I'm ADHD. Suddenly, my battery turns on. I will come and clean the house from head to toe. Next day, my energy is rock bottom. I cannot do anything. He will still not be able to do everything. He will do some of it. I cannot now come and pick on him and say, no, but yesterday I did everything. Today you should do everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that.
No, listen.
Well,
Sometimes it
for
do be
me,
like that.
For me, it's almost all the time.
Sometimes,
Wait,
yes.
wait, wait, stop.
Necessities are different. Necessities are different.
Yeah.
For instance, if you're going to eat the food and I've spent the whole week cleaning the dishes and that day I'm tired, don't go eat the food and put the dirty dish back in the sink waiting for me to not be tired tomorrow to wash it. Once in a while, wash it. You know what? It's that
Or
once
put
in
it
a
in
while.
the dishwasher.
Yes.
Oh yeah, if you
Yes.
don't have a dishwasher, wash
Exactly.
it. You have a dishwasher, put it in the dishwasher.
Whenever the dishwasher just one step away from the sink.
Yeah, don't put your mug in the middle of the sink. Omar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's Fatima.
sometimes, like sometimes I'm in a rush.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have a
It
patient
doesn't
waiting
take
for me, and I'm still at home.
seconds.
Rush
Right?
is fine, but
Yeah.
when it's every single day, that's when it adds up.
No, it's not every single
Yeah.
day. She
I
knows that.
can
yeah.
give you an example of in a week. You know what
She
I
does
had?
keep a tally. Where's that notebook at home?
That's in my mind. 1 week, he kept the mug. First day, second day, exactly same place. Third day, exactly same place. And then cup of water, same place. I came to the sink. It
It's
was
his favorite spot.
it was like a full sink. I was like, okay,
You didn't touch it? You
No.
didn't wash it?
no,
Who washed it eventually?
no, we didn't wash it. We have a dishwasher, so
So who put it in the dishwasher?
in the end I put it in the dishwasher. I know, but at least I want him to see that you left it yesterday and the day before. So just
I
remove.
think going back to that, then I will continue my point of 50-50. If it is in a situation where, let's say, as an example, that's not how we are, but just theoretically, let's say it was in a situation where I am doing 75% of the tasks to be done at home. Then in that instance, I believe that the man, Hamid Raza, should take more of the financial burden, let's say. Okay? Because in that sense, he's valuing the work I'm doing and I'm valuing the effort he's putting in. I'm saying, okay, if you're focusing all your energy on making money for the house, I will put my energy into making our house a home. So it's balancing itself out. It's not saying that the work I'm doing at home has a certain financial value. It's just that, okay, this is what I can bring to the table. That's what you
Okay,
can bring
but-
to the
And
table.
this is reality.
But
yeah.
but this is where the problem arises. That's where Fatima said that a lot of marriages or relationships end at.
Yeah.
Because the wife puts into physical work and piles up, and the man is doing what it's in his nature to bring money at home.
Okay, no, but
to the house.
I didn't go into the emotional side. It's about like, okay, that was just in terms of the physical abilities.
But basically, the man is trying to value your, your 75% by bringing money into the house.
Yeah.
But then a lot of women just don't see that, and then they just end it there because I haven't been treated well.
Okay, so-
you haven't put in the value against what I'm putting in. But the guy's like, well, I've been supporting and I've been
So
putting in.
That's the thing. What I just talked about was the physical aspect. That's balancing each other out physically. Then you have the emotional, which is what Fatma was
I was talking about the
that
physical.
in-
I was talking about the physical. I was
Yeah.
referring to the physical aspect.
Physically, as long as, listen, majority of women appreciate the money that the man is bringing in. As long as the man does not come and treat what they've done for the house in a rude way. The issue arises when, let's say, the woman has cooked and cleaned all day. He comes home and says, okay, what have you done? You've just been home all day. That's the issue. It's not the fact that he's been working and she's been cleaning. It's the fact that he sees it as nothing, but he sees his work as everything. It's that
Good point.
view.
Yeah.
At this point, let the woman just leave the house and let him see what exactly feels when the woman leaves the house.
Yeah. As long as, I think as humans, we're very complex creatures. We have so many things about us. We have our physical ability, financial abilities, mental ability, emotional. We're supposed to, as a relationship, as two people being together, a couple, a married couple, unmarried, whatever, you're supposed to try to balance each other out on all the aspects. So if you're mentally strained, you're stressed, you cannot think what you're doing, that day I should come and help you. Even if, let's say, you, for some reason, something has happened, you're depressed for a whole month, I'll be there for you. That does not mean I'll be there for you necessarily in every aspect, because maybe that will push me to a level that I will be depressed, but I will try to be there for you for other things, because I know one day you will be there for me. Not necessarily next month, maybe next year, but that's the concept. So yes, physically, let's say in a situation where the man is doing more of the financial and the woman is doing more of the housework, physically they've balanced each other out. Now comes the important part of balancing each other emotionally. The woman should appreciate that the man is bringing the money in. There are women who don't appreciate it. They think that that's his
normal.
duty.
Yeah, that's your duty.
You
have
married
to
me,
do
it's your duty to bring the money. No, it's not his duty. He's
Yeah.
not your father. He didn't give birth to you. He's not responsible for you. he married you, you had a discussion, or unless, okay, when the day he came and proposed, he told you, I will take care of you and you do nothing. And in that case, okay, go expect whatever you want to expect. But just because you're married, he's not responsible to give you the most lavish life. If he's providing, be thankful. And at the same time, if she's providing you with a clean house or whatever, a stable house, however, what is your criteria of a good house, you
also
should be thankful.
Yeah.
Don't ignore what he's done. Don't ignore what she has done.
What do you guys? Let me just touch a little bit on the financials. What is your take on the finances?
For us, listen, it's me and Omar working, okay?
Yeah.
But it's not a deal, but we understand each other. So it's him taking care of the bills of everything, shopping for the house, groceries. At the same time, I don't want to put much pressure on him because I'm working too. So when I go out with my friends, with my family, with anything, I don't usually pay from the money that he gives it to me. I pay from my own salary because my own salary, it's for me to have fun.
Right.
So we have the balance. That's also a part of appreciation that she just mentioned, that when you appreciate his work, you need to just don't overload the things over his shoulders, because you know that he needs to pay for this and that and that and that and for so many things. So just make him a bit more relaxed. I know that it's a hustle with the men about the paying. I know this because I've been there with my father, with Omar, and my brother also. He is also married with one kid. I know the hustle, but at the same time, woman needs to understand this hustle, needs to be there for the man.
Right.
For me, I mean,
I
you know
think-
where I stand.
Yeah. For our financial side of things, I mean, wait, let me get Omar's opinion on this.
Yeah.
Is it something that, let's just be,
Ignore
As-
culture.
ignore culture?
No,
And-
I don't really follow the culture. Like, I see it from a different view. Okay, I'm responsible for the house. I'm providing almost everything, but I believe that she should have her own financial stability. Okay, that she is working on. All right, not me providing it to her. Okay, because I think if she starts spending from her own money, she will feel different.
Yeah.
Okay, she will be happier, right? About the necessary stuff at home and all the financial
bills and stuff.
bills and stuff, of course, it's me, it's us, man, who should take care of this. Just because
Just because what?
yeah,
Culture?
no,
Or,
not
like,
not,
why is it
not,
a should?
not culture. It's not a should,
Okay.
by the way. It's not a should. I totally understand if there is an agreement between the two partners about the financial part, I would totally respect that. I'm not against it. I will totally respect it, and but it's up to them. Like it's again, it's an agreement
Right.
between the partners. So my agreement with her was like this, okay, and we are trying it. Okay, it's not.
Yeah, it's not a perfect
It's not a
thing.
perfect thing. I'm
Yeah.
not
It's
saying
not
that
set
it's
in
a
stone.
yes. Okay. One day I might be in need for money, so I would definitely ask her
Yeah.
instead of asking, let's say, my friend or my parents or whatever. So I would ask my closest person to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and she would do the same.
Correct.
Definitely,
True,
when
true.
she'll be in need, she would ask me.
Yeah.
Right. So this is an agreement between the, whether it's, if you want percentage, whether it's 90-10% or 70-30%, that doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, it's an agreement between the two. But I'm
Yeah.
not against it. No.
Yeah. The way we are is that so again, coming to agreements, is that when we got into our relationship, I was always with a 50-50 mindset. Now, not because I'm not financially capable or she's not financially capable,
European mind.
but I don't know. I don't think there's a title for it. Maybe Europeans do follow that pattern, but I think the logic behind it is that I think if you want to pull a financial weight, you need to also pull your own weight in terms of putting in X amount of effort, X amount of hard work, and X amount of hours to make, for example, X amount of dirhams per month to pull that weight. So in an instance where the man is supplying groceries, bills, car loan or car payments, and everything to do with, the daily life, and the woman is, yes, she's working, but she gets to keep that money for herself to enjoy, I think it can bring a degree of laziness, and it can bring a degree of, again, comfort zone. And she's now okay with it. My husband's taking care of everything else. I don't necessarily need to work more than this. And it brings a degree of laziness that I think men really find it, really find it to get on their nerves. Eventually it eats at us piece by piece by piece. So I think that's why, like at the beginning, I'm like, look, we have to do it 50-50 because I want you to work. I want you to push yourself. I want you to think outside the box. How can I make more money? How can I make something, first of all, for myself? How can I get my own savings? How can I go into the grocery store being able to pull my own credit card out and not think that this credit card is my husband's? It's my credit card and I want to buy this whole cart by myself for the house, for the husband, for the kids. But for her to be able to be independent, hardworking, push through, also enjoy her life.
Yeah. And I agreed with it because no, I didn't necessarily think of it the same way he did. I thought of it as things that I had seen before. I think I talked about this before. I tend to look at other people and try to see the things that I see in as maybe as negatives or like weak points.
Mm-hmm.
And what I noticed a lot in most of the marriages in our families and people around me was that it was a very traditional setting where the man is bringing the money, the woman's taking care. Forget about the emotional part that the man or the woman is not appreciating each other. It eventually led to a place where if they were to get divorced, the woman had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
At
And
that
she
stage.
had nothing for herself.
She had nothing. And it's not even about the fine. It's not even about how much she had saved. It's about the lack of capability to take care of herself.
Yeah.
I come from a divorced family. My mom was left in the worst situation possible. Maybe we'll get into more details one day, and she was left at a certain stage of her life where it was not easy for her to now learn the ropes of the world. Forever, up until that point, she had always been taken care of by her father, then her husband, and then again her father at some point, whatever. Now she had to figure it out with 2 kids.
At
It's
the
not
age
easy.
of, I
At
don't
the
know,
age
like
of
45, 50,
40.
Yeah.
40 even.
40,
it's,
yes,
I think, too
it's
late.
young, it's still young, but it's not really that young for you to now try to adapt to a world which is changing on a daily basis, and now trying to figure out what work am I supposed to do? Who's even gonna hire me? Because up until 40 years, she never had a work experience. She never learned how to do sales, how to pitch herself, how to get hired. She never bothered to learn certain skills that make her hireable. Whereas for me, God forbid, not that I'm constantly thinking of like, okay, one day we're going to break up. No, but in the sense of realistically, you need to always think of worst case scenario.
True.
God forbid, God forbid, one day I lose him in a natural disaster. What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to go back to my mom. Hey, mom, can you please give me a handout?
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to be able to stand on my feet. If I need support, yes, I know the support is there, but I don't want to be relying on others.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm happy to do 50-50. Yes, if it reaches a certain point where I cannot bring 50% financially and he can, there have been instances I go to him, listen, I don't have the money this month, or I don't think maybe I've lost something here and there. I can't do 50-50. He'll be like, no problem. I will cover whatever you want to bring. Then whenever you can, you come back to 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how
Fair
it is.
enough.
Yeah.
And not by the way, he doesn't say, okay, now that you're paying less, you must do more tasks.
More on the of course not.
No,
I mean,
because
some
some
people
people
are
might
like
think
that.
that. No, it's not like that. It doesn't say, okay, now that you're paying 40%, you do 50% of the dishwashing and whatever,
2% for dishwashing, 2%
So
for
transactional.
Yeah, exactly. It's not transactional. It should be that, okay, I feel like what you're doing is valuable enough for me. For him, he understands. For instance, he says we're financially 50-50, but if you truly think about it, we're not exactly 50-50 because certain things need to be paid in advance or 2-3 months at a time. I don't have the finances to do that. He does the big chunk and then I pay him back monthly.
Yeah.
Yes, on paper, we're 50-50, but that initial burden is on him. Therefore, without me telling him or without him telling me or expecting it, I naturally try to take care of certain other things at home or at work because we do work together. Wherever I feel like I can do more, I do more just to say thank you without coming and telling him, thank you for paying,
Yeah. True.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think all of us kind of believe in the whole 50-50, but we just view it differently.
Yeah.
What do you think of the people that don't do 50-50?
And
I
it's
think-
all on the man, right?
Well, financially, you mean all on the man. Let's go back to not all on the man.
Emotional. I mean, emotional as well.
actually the emotional part, because let's skip our relationship.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my family and let's talk about so many stories that I know. The lack of emotional part doesn't only comes to the wife, but also to the kids. I didn't have that emotional part from my father. So that's why I'm pushing Omar to give me this emotional till the time he's able to give this emotional. At that time I will be okay, it's time to have kids. I don't want to have kids at a point that he's not giving, because he's giving a lot of his time for work, for thinking of the future of so I see that the emotional part is so important. Okay, maybe a bit of girls, they disagree with me, they don't really care about the emotional part, but I'm an emotional person. I really care about the emotional part. If there is no emotional part, I start to be away from my partner. I pull myself, because if I keep on giving and giving and giving, and it's not only with my partner, it's like with my friends, with my family. If I keep on giving this emotional part and I'm not receiving any, okay, I'm skipping for this week. Okay, this person is tired. Next week he's depressed. Next week he's, I don't know, he's having a problem. The other week, but skipping for a few months without that emotional part, it's too much for me.
Yeah.
Because I need to have it. I think, let's say 50% of girls, they need this emotional part. About work, about doing the house. Okay, I accept that he helps. I'm not saying he helps. He accept that, okay, we're both working. So the days that we both go to work and we come back home, we're both tired.
Yeah.
So he doesn't be like, oh, I'm tired, I need food, why you didn't cook? No, he accept the fact that, okay, I was in work too.
That's
We can
communication.
order. Yes,
Yeah.
that's communication.
That's communication.
Yeah.
So essentially, I think one really important point that Fatma said is that this is who she is. She's an emotional person.
Yeah.
There are people who are not.
Yeah.
There are women out there who don't care whether the man is there to show emotions. As long as he's providing financially, that's all they care about.
Yeah, because some
And
women,
that works for them.
Yeah.
some women they care about the financial part.
Exactly.
For me, I don't care. But let's talk in the beginning, when each couples they get to know each others, and for their first days they need to communicate. They need to say that I love this and I love that. No one is perfect for everyone.
Yeah.
She's not perfect for you and you're
Yeah.
not perfect for her.
Yeah.
100%.
No.
Let's say 90%. There is that 10%, okay, or 20 or 30% that it's lacking. But the thing is, marriage is a very important thing. For it to continue to years,
To last.
yes, exactly, to last, it needs to be like a double change from both partners. So I will adapt with what he loves. Let's say in our first few months, I was doing certain things, and then he came, he was like, don't do this. I don't like those things. I don't like it. I told him, okay, I changed it. When I come, I tell him, I hate those things, don't do it. He changed it. Some people, they don't really change it.
Yeah.
Some,
I
especially...
think a lot of people are actually hard set on, no, you
This is
should
how
not.
I am.
No, or it's not about this is how I
I
am.
would
but
not change for you. You would
should
change for
adapt
me.
with
Yeah.
me.
With you, or you should adapt with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
no offense, but it's usually men who are
Yes.
stubborn
Yep.
and they're not willing to change for the woman.
Yes,
They think that, okay, I'm like this,
this is how it is.
yes, and you change for me. You adapt your life for me. Okay, I come from different environment, you come from different environment. As I already said, we need to see the problems that happened with people we know or with our life. And when we come to our life to just make it between us both, it needs to be us who decide, and then we take the mistakes that other people done and then correct it in our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to continue, not to be stubborn, because this is a relationship. It's two people, not only you. So that's why you need to change yourself for the other person.
Yeah.
You need to adapt, yeah. Maybe not necessarily change in the sense that be a different person,
Of course not.
but
Yeah.
try where it's flexible, be flexible.
Yeah.
Here comes the 50-50. So
Yeah.
if I change myself, I adapt with you, and then I don't see that you adapt with me, no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. I think, see, there's one thing with men, since traditionally men have that burden of finances and providing financially for the family. When they see that the woman doesn't care, that's when they get disheartened and they pull back. Similarly for women, when they feel like, okay, they're constantly trying to change for, because it's usually the woman who's trying to adapt to how the man likes things to be
Certain
done.
things, yeah.
She keeps trying to please him. He's constantly unhappy. Maybe he's unhappy because he's seeing certain things in her, but he's not vocalizing it again. Lack of communication.
Yeah.
Then it reaches a point where now she is pulling away from him, he's pulling away from her, because they're not meeting 50-50 emotionally and mentally. It has nothing to do with what she's doing and nothing to do with how much money he's bringing.
Yep.
It's the lack of understanding with each other.
But let me comment on something. Actually, it happened with us. Okay, so there is something about this communication that I usually have like a problem with it. Whenever no, a problem.
You have a problem with him?
No, not
herself. She has an internal
me
issue.
and- yes, exactly, internal issue. That, okay, sometimes I feel that I hated something, okay, and I need to communicate with him. But one day he comes back from work. He's angry. He's tired. I be like, "Oh, poor Omar. I don't want to just discuss this with him because he's tired. He's angry. It's not the right time." And then the next day, he comes back happy. Okay, let's discuss it. And then I say, No, but he is happy. And sometimes he be angry when we discuss something or he doesn't understand me. And then I be like, no, he will understand. No, but sometimes I need to explain and he doesn't like much explanation. So I start, I have this overthinking in my head and I ended up just sitting like this. I don't tell him what's bothering me.
And you're just completely silent.
Yes, and I feel that the situation is complicated, you know?
Yeah.
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 Again, the lack of knowing how to communicate or lack of communication in any sense can be the issue.
Yeah.
And it often is, because let's say the man is lacking something, maybe they're lacking something sexually, they're not coming and telling their wife. Sexually, that's another 50-50 thing that we completely ignored, and it's very important, I think.
Yeah.
Very important. Men have certain needs. Women have very different needs. Women don't have the same frequency, maybe. Women, for them, sexual stuff is not just physical. There's a lot of emotions attached. So when the man is not, let's say, appreciating or giving them that emotional support throughout the month or the week, the day, she's not going to be willing to do certain things.
True.
Or
Then
she's just put off. It's not
she's
that she's
put
not
off.
willing. It's
Yeah.
like the
She
switch is just
yeah.
off.
Sorry, it's not happening tonight. And then after a week of him constantly hearing no, he's going to be like, fine, I'll go find someone else who's going to give it to me. But that's not how you solve it.
Yeah.
You should figure out why your wife is not happy
Yeah.
to do it with you, essentially. Figure out the issue, solve the issue, then I'm sure your wife will be happy to sleep with you.
Yeah.
And vice versa. There are men who are also not in the mood constantly because they're constantly working.
Yeah.
They come home, not in the mood. Okay, maybe here it is the time for the woman to ask the guy, why are you not in the mood for it?
Yeah.
I don't want to put all the blame on the men, saying men always expect sex. No, it can be the other way around.
True.
Yeah, true.
So again, I think we should all agree that communication between the two partners are the most important part. We said 50-50. Yes, maybe 50-50 is important, but I think communication in all aspects of the relationship is the more important
And the
part
willing
of
to
the-
change.
The willingness to change as well.
To change, yes.
To mold
To-
yourself.
yes,
Yeah.
Adapt.
change and adapt. Yes,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I think as long as you're not putting it in numbers,
Exactly.
you're not keeping a tab on how much did I spend today, how much did she spend, how much money did I bring in, what tasks did she do today, and you just don't turn everything into a very binary system, and you just value your partner, value their effort. Not necessarily that they succeed at doing something, but the fact that they're trying to do that thing. That's where you can create a harmony and a balance in your life. Some days it's 50-50. Some days it's 60-40. Some days, it might be 50-60. Maybe you're trying to be equal, but one of you outdoes the other one.
True.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
But moral of the story is you got to know what you expect, what your partner expects.
Yeah, we can't read each other's minds.
No.
We got to vocalize it. We got to put it out there.
Your 50% is different to his 50%, to my 50%, and her 50%.
Yeah.
I need to understand what you value as a 50% from me and what I value as a 50% from you.
True.
As long as we understand that and we try to meet each other halfway through, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can push through.
true.
And yeah.
I think moral of the story, like you said, is that we've all reached the same page,
Yeah.
but differently, and it's just all coming to the same groundwork. And I think a lot of people might have very different opinions. I think the reason why we four work and are friends is because we have a lot of commonalities.
True.
And we have same way of thinking. We think
Same but different.
same
Yeah,
but different.
exactly.
This is literally this. I mean, majority of people can just be different. We're same but different. So I think that's why the whole time we're kind of lingering around the same chapter, same page. And I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. Make sure that you drop your thoughts down below. And wherever you're listening, make sure that you give us a follow. And if you're on YouTube, drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. See you guys in the next one.
See you. Bye
Bye bye.
Nice. Thank you.
Right.